One peaceful morning, a wandering monk sat meditating under the shade of a tall tree, enjoying the serenity of nature. Suddenly, a single teardrop landed softly on his cheek. Startled, he looked up and saw a raven perched on a branch, its eyes glistening with sorrow. The monk studied the bird for a moment before speaking. "You seem troubled, little one. Why are you so sad?" The raven let out a sigh and replied, "I feel worthless. No one likes me. I'm shooed away wherever I go, and people avoid me as if I don't belong. My life feels like a burden." Moved by the raven's despair, the monk said, "Happiness comes from appreciating what we have." But the raven couldn't understand. Seeing this, the monk added, "Tell me, what do you wish to become? With my mantra, I can make it happen." Excited, the raven asked to become a swan. The monk agreed, but suggested he first meet the swan to see if it was truly happy. With a flutter of wings, the raven took off, excited to find a swan and prove to itself that transformation was the answer to its misery. It soon came upon a majestic swan gliding gracefully across a serene lake, its white feathers gleaming in the sunlight. "You must be the happiest bird alive," the raven said, admiring the swan's beauty. The swan looked back at the raven and sighed. "While I am admired for my beauty and grace, I often feel something is missing. My feathers are pure, yes, but they are plain. I long for the vibrant colors that the parrot wears so proudly. His plumage is dazzling, full of life and radiance. Surely the parrot is the happiest of all birds." Intrigued, the raven flew off to find the parrot, whose feathers shimmered with a kaleidoscope of colors. Landing nearby, the raven couldn't help but marvel at the parrot's striking appearance. "You must be the happiest bird with such beautiful feathers," the raven said, admiring the parrot's plumage. "I may be admired for my colors," the parrot began, its voice heavy, "but they don't see the truth. My kind parrots are taken from the wild and caged, held captive for nothing more than to entertain others. I long to fly freely, to soar through the skies, but I am constantly afraid that someone will capture me, imprison me, and take away my freedom forever." "But if you're not happy either," the raven asked, its voice tinged with confusion, "then who do you think is the happiest bird?" "I don't know," the parrot admitted, its tone somber. "Perhaps the peacock, with its majestic feathers and the admiration of so many, is truly happy. If there is a bird who knows joy, it must be the peacock." The raven nodded thoughtfully, though doubt lingered in its heart. Determined to uncover the truth, it flapped its wings and took off once again, this time heading to a zoo where it had heard peacocks could be found. The raven landed on a sturdy branch overlooking a crowded area. There, a peacock strutted proudly in the center of a group of admiring humans. The raven waited until the crowd had dispersed before approaching. "You must be the happiest bird, surrounded by so many admirers," the raven said, with a hint of envy. "I also thought I was the most beautiful bird in the world," it began, its voice soft and reflective. "But beauty is not the same as happiness. My beauty traps me here in this cage, where people come to admire me, not for who I am, but for what I look like. They pluck my feathers for decoration, and it is painful. It is what makes me sad." The raven, still absorbing the peacock's words, looked at the majestic bird in silence for a moment. "But if you're not happy, whom do you think is the happiest bird of all?" "I long for the freedom you have, little raven. You see, I've come to realize that the freest bird in this place is you. No one cages you. You can fly wherever you please, at whatever time you please." The raven was taken aback. For the first time, it felt something shift within itself. It stood there in stunned silence, contemplating the peacock's words. Slowly, it began to understand that the freedom it had taken for granted was, in fact, a treasure, something others envied. The raven's sorrow started to lift, and it felt a deep sense of gratitude for being itself, just as it was. Returning to the monk, the raven spoke with newfound clarity. "I no longer wish to change. I see now that I am already blessed. My life, though different from others, is beautiful in its own way. I am content as I am." In life, we often compare ourselves to others, leading to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. True happiness comes from valuing what we have instead of focusing on what we lack. There will always be someone with more or less than us. The secret to joy lies in contentment.